Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Nikola Petkovic. I'm a property consultant here in Dubai with over half a decade experience. And in this particular video, I'll be talking to you regarding the quarter one report of Dubai real estate market in 2023 in this year. So some of the points in the video will go through January, February and March as individual months, and then a full report on the entire quarter one of this year. Then we'll take a look at top 5 performing areas, sales per price point, then sales versus off-plan transaction, inflation rates and interest rates, and also effect of those interest rates on the transactions on the market. So starting from January, in this month we had 9,827 total transactions, which is 70.3% increase versus the same month, January of last year, 2022. In monetary values, there has been 28 billion dirhams worth of transactions throughout the month of January, which is 69.3, almost 70% increase in monetary value again versus January of 2022. These stats are huge because 2022 was already a fantastic year for Dubai real estate market. If we look at the apartments in the left corner, we'll see it is 7,401 apartments that have been transacted, which is almost double, 98.6% more than in January of last year. The monetary value of those apartments is 15.5 billion. Then we have villas, 1,782 villas, or 7.7% increase versus January of 2022. And the value, total value of those villas transacted is 6.9, almost 7 billion dirhams. Then we have commercials and plots as well, which have also significantly increased by 65 and 66.8% compared to the January of 2022. When it comes to February, the number of transactions, as we can see, 8,994. That is 42.1% increase versus February of last year, 2022. The number of apartments sold is less than January. Here you have 6,297 apartments sold, which is 56.1% increase versus February of 2022. The total value of those units, those apartments, 12.8 billion dirhams. More villas has been sold in this month in February, 16.4 increase versus February in 2022, and 2,102 villas transacted with total value of 8.5 billion. When it comes to worth of all transactions in the month of February, it was 26.7 billion dirhams, which is 64% increase versus February of 2022. In March, we had a huge number of transactions, 12,157 transactions in March, which is 44.3% higher than March 2022. Here we have a huge number of residential apartments sold, overall apartments, that is 9,244 units, which is 66.3% increase versus March in 2022. Total value of those units, 16.8 billion dirhams. 2,032 villas have been sold, which is 8% less actually than in March of 2022. Total value of those villas transacted, 7.8 billion. And then we see commercial and plots as well, which have a significant increase of 52.8% versus March of previous year, and also they have a huge value. So these plots were very expensive. As we can see, 541 plots transacted with a total value of 8.8 billion dirhams. The total value of these transactions in March is 34.1 billion dirham, and that is a 52% increase versus the March of 2022. Now we'll take a look at the combined this months as quarter one of 2023. So we had 30,898 transactions, which is 7.4% increase quarter on quarter. That's compared to the previous quarter, which is quarter 4 of 2022, which was the best quarter in entire year 2022, which, as mentioned, is a spectacular year for Dubai real estate market. And it is a 50.6% increase compared to quarter 1 of 2022. Now, total number of apartments sold in this quarter, this year, in first quarter, 22,922 units, 72.1% increase versus quarter one in 2022. Total value of those apartments, 45 billion dirhams. 5,682 villas has been sold, which is 0.2% increase, very small increase compared to quarter one in 2022. And the value of those villas is 22.1 billion dirhams. Then we have almost 20% increase in commercial spaces and huge increase in plots, 77.4%, with 1,405 plots transacted, which is worth almost 20 billion dirhams, 19.9 to be precise. So in the quarter four of 2022, we had 80.9, almost 81 billion total value of transactions. And in this quarter of 2023, we have 88.7 billion as a complete value of transactions, which is 9.4% increase quarter on quarter and 60.5% increase compared to quarter one of 2022. These are the top 5 performing areas. We'll see it first by the volume, number of actual transactions. So as you can see, the top 5 areas are Jumeirah Village Circle, also known as JVC, followed by Business Bay, Dubai Marina, Dubai Creek Harbor, and then Damak Lagoons. So in Jumeirah Village Circle, as we can see, almost 3,300 units have been transacted in this quarter, in first quarter of 2023. Business Bay is following by about 2,750 transactions. Then Dubai Marina, with 2,300 transactions respectively. Then we have Dubai Creek Harbor on 4th place, which had about 1,700 transactions, and Damak Lagoons with approximately 1,400 transactions there. Now let's look at the situation by value. By value means by the actual monetary worth or monetary value, monetary equivalent here. So we can see the situation has changed. Look at this, for an example. Jumeirah Village Circle was number 1 by volume, but it's number 5 by value. That's why that is because the value of unit or prices of units that were transacted are way smaller. And you can see that it's now on 5th place with about 2.5 billion dirhams transacted there. When it comes to Dubai Marina, it's now taking a first place, reaching almost 8 billion worth of actual transactions. Then it's followed by Business Bay, which is almost 5 billion worth of transactions. Then Damak Lagoons, about 4.2 billion, and Dubai Creek Harbor very closely following Damak Lagoons at a similar point of 4.2 billion dirhams worth of transactions. This is something that's interesting as well. It's a sales price, by price range for the very first quarter. So you can see the units below 1 million, 35%. This is combined for ready and off plan, by the way, as well. 27% for 1 to 2 million, then 19% for 2 to 3 million, 11% of all units for 3 to 5 million price range, and 9% of units that are more expensive than 5 million. So total number of transactions again in a quarter, 30,898, and you can see these are massive numbers. Even the lowest point of 9% for units over 5 million, there is still a huge number of transactions right there. Now let's compare that to only off-plan. As you can see here, 32%, so the numbers have changed. 32% in off-plan went below 1 million, 28% is 1 to 2 million, 22% is 2 to 3 million, and 3 to 5 million, 11%, which has remained the same. 7% units more expensive than 5 million dirhams. In number of transactions, as you can see, for off-plan only, again, below 1 million, we have 5,593 units transacted. 1 to 2 million, 5,007 units. 2 to 3 million, 3,844 units. 3 to 5 million, 1,945 units. And over 5 million, we have 1,305 transactions. This here represents the sales volume in the first quarter over the years from 2014 to 2023. So you can see how huge the increase is, and you can see how spectacular this quarter has been in this year. So the Dubai real estate market is continuing to soar forward with increase in volume and value as well. When it comes to off-plan versus ready properties in this in the first quarter of 2023, the market has been dominated by off-plan transactions, which are also represented below. By sales volume, 60% of units went to off-plan. And by sales value, that has increased with 63% of total sales value going towards the off-plan transactions and off-plan properties. Regarding the inflation, in most parts of the world it has went down almost everywhere, but it is still quite high. So you can see from for euro area it is about 8.5 last recorded that we can see. For USA they are saying around 5%. These are the official numbers. UK still extremely high, 10.4%, but that has again went down compared to the previous year, even though anybody who understands these figures knows that this is still extremely high and the money is losing its value on a very fast rate as well. That's why one of the countermeasures introduced is the actual increase of interest rates, which have been massively increasing throughout the last year, as you can see on the chart represented here. And here in UAE, since United Arab Emirates dirham, the currency we use here, is actually pegged to US dollar, the Central Bank of UAE is actually following the increases from the US Central Bank. And you can see the huge jump here in the last year. And we have actually reached with the last increase the highest that it's ever been recorded here in UAE. Since we are tracking it since 2007. So current interest rate from the Central Bank of UAE is 4.9, which again is the highest ever recorded here. Now, normally this would affect the number of transactions because the money is becoming more expensive to borrow. Less people would actually borrow it, right? That's the logical thinking, but that's not really what's happening, as you can see it right here. So the number of transactions for mortgage is actually 62.9% higher than quarter one of 2022. And you can see the rates in the previous quarter in 2022, which was significantly lower than right now. So even though the money to borrow has become far more expensive and the interest rate has reached the highest point in this quarter, highest point recorded in UAE, we still have a massive increase in the actual number of transactions, which rose to 8,889 transactions of mortgage. Their value has also increased by 24.6%, rising to 31.4 billion dirhams. So again, a fantastic quarter for Dubai real estate market. We've seen a lot of properties and a lot of projects being launched and sold out fairly fast as well. In all segments pretty much. So there has been a lot of transactions, as we have seen previously, at around 1 to 2 million mark. If we look at the transactions from up to 3 million, especially for off-plan, there's 80% of transactions that are happening below the mark of 3 million dirhams. So those obviously have, most of them have been gone in an instant, especially some units and some projects which were offering post-handover payment plans. And when it comes to units that are more expensive, the luxury market is always moving well. The ultra luxury market, as a couple of projects we have seen in this launched in this first quarter, such as, for an example, Blue Waters Bay or Damak Bay, also are gone extremely fast with high price points as well. So the people are definitely still expressing the interest and heavily investing in Dubai real estate market, and the market will continue to grow based on everything we have seen. It will continue to grow, and it will continue to surge. If you are interested in investing in Dubai real estate market, you are most welcome to contact me. You have my contact details below in description and in the comment section as well. There's a link to WhatsApp also, so you can click it and have a chat with me as well. Thank you very much for your attention. If you haven't already, subscribed and check out the channel, because you'll find a lot more useful information there and review of the actual projects available. Thank you very much.